evening, everyone. I think we can begin the program now.
Benthic Drift, what are your thoughts on it? Whoa. Whoa.
That's a deep subject. Yeah, it's really one of the more interesting aspects of aquatic insect behavior is what's called behavioral drift. These insects that are living down there on the bottom on the substrate, they run out of food, or a big golden stone comes along and there's a predator. So they need to let go of the bottom to find a better place. They just let go and drift in the current. Then they might drift 5 feet or 8 feet and they grab a new rock and they've got a new home. Well, this goes on all the time. There's always certain level of insects drifting, larvae drifting in the water column. But there's certain periods of the day when this peaks. And so every day of the year, whether it's winter or summer, you're going to have a peak in this drift activity right at sunrise and right at sunset. And so if you're a nymph fisherman, keep that in mind, because there's going to be a lot of nymphs floating in the current for fish to feed on at those times of the day, morning right at sunrise and then at sunset. And fish are going to be aware of that. It's like the grocery shelves are open for everybody to come along and have something to eat. And there's certain species that have more propensity to drift than others. And the two big ones are blue-winged olives, the little mayfly, blue-winged olives, and midges. And so whenever they've done trout stomach studies, they find blue-winged olives and midges one of the dominant creatures in the guts of fish, and also when they do drift studies, they dominate often in the drift in the current. So that's another reason why those are good insects to use for nymph patterns, except for Rick's raging rhyocophila. That'll drift too. So
I think that what that says is the size 16 bid flashback pheasant tail.
I didn't want to say that, but it's
the best fly you should have.
Also agreed upon by the vote of our audience. Way to go, Scott.